for the #1 team in the country is definitely some detailed preparation. I mean, they're a really, really good football team. They're very sound. They do some couple of, sad parts. You know what they're going to do at times, and you just got to execute. It comes down, when I talk to you after the game or something like that, it's just a matter of execution. Eliminate our mental mistakes and make sure we take advantage of our matchups.
Now that you've reviewed the film from the A&M game, what did you see that you really liked from that?
Well, I thought, we played well. We really did. I mean, we had a lot of yards, moved it up and down the field, and, I thought the kids played really, really well. And, both quarterbacks went in there in different situations and produced, and so did everybody else. So, felt good about it. Was, the outcome wasn't real happy about it. I was kind of amazed with Johnny football. I mean, when you watch him, it's kind of remarkable. He prolongs a play for 8 seconds. I mean, it's hard to cover somebody for 8 seconds. I mean, no matter who you are. He's just a unique player, totally different than what you've seen. I mean, he's a true spread quarterback that can really make things happen.
We haven't had a chance to talk to you since the game, talk to Dan, but Dak, just the way he performed, not just under the strange emotional of the week, but coming there, but, somewhat limited practice and just play the way he did.
Remarkable. Really great kid. My heart goes out to him and his family. I mean, that's a tough deal. Anytime, I tell you guys, anytime you lost your mom, it'd be a tough deal. He's very close with his mother. It's remarkable. When he came back, he told me, he said, Coach, I need my family and football. So that was pretty impressive to me as a young man. Those are things that, stick forth in his mind. So it's kind of emotional for me. I mean, it really was. And I knew his mom really well, too. She was a great lady. And got a chance to see his family, but it was on a tough deal.
Have you narrowed anything down with the Dak Tyler thing, where it just seems like whoever you put in the game, they move the football? It's just with Dak you get points, and then with Tyler, for whatever reason, drives kind of tend to stall at the end there.
Well, you say that, and you look back on the drives before, he took us straight down and scored.
Right.
It's one thing or the other. We just got to execute. It's a matter of execution and putting everything together. I don't think it's the person in there. It's the person who executes. It's the one that makes things happen.
What have you kind of done?
To have Dak on Saturday, or what's the deal with that?
That's a good question that I'd ask later on in the week. But I think, I'm planning on him coming. I'm planning on him being there.
What have you done at practice this week with the quarterback situation, with Dak not being available, just kind of alternate Damian and Tyler?
Well, yeah, he's out there. I mean, he's out there working, and he's getting all his reps and stuff, and so it's been good for us. I mean, he's sitting there getting it all through mentally, getting it all done, and, he's done a great job. I mean, again, at the quarterback position, we're getting towards the end of the year. There's not a lot of things that are going to change. We're just going to hone up some things against them defensively.
Dak did a good job of attacking the ball and going and getting it. Something that's kind of been a struggle for the outside receivers. Talk about the job he did, just attacking it.
It's hard to throw Bear a bad ball. I mean, it really is. He's such a big receiver that if you're just a little off, it doesn't matter because it's going to be a good pass for you, and he adjusts to the ball really, really well. Being that big, it's hard for defenders to get around him.
Is it hard to believe he's only been playing football for a couple of years?
I mean,
when you
really
watch
is
him play?
remarkable. I mean, he really does a nice job. He's done a really, and our quarterbacks have confidence in him too. They know where he's at.
Does he kind of characterize the whole? When you tell recruits, look, if you do this and do this in fall camp, you'll play. I mean, it almost seemed like he forced you guys to put him out there when you would have liked to have had him learn, but he just caught everything.
Well, that's true, but the other part too is we graduated a lot of seniors.
Right.
I mean, there's two parts to that. I mean,
right.
Would we like Chad back? Yes. Would we like Chris and Arcedo? Yes. I mean, we'd like those guys back, but I mean, again, he has stepped up, and somebody had to step up, and he did that.
Talk about stepping up. Josh Robinson made a big run
he
there.
He really did.
And is Ladarius, he tells he's 100%, but he just doesn't look like he's quite there.
I want to say this. If you get a chance to watch the film, and the touchdown that Ladarius scores, there's an unblocked player in the hole, and he just bounces off of him and scores. It was a really, really good run by Ladarius. Really was.
Talk about some of those young guys. Y'all played a lot of freshmen, sophomores, both sides of the ball, really.
Mm-hmm.
You don't put anybody out there that's not ready, but what's the difference in working with a true freshman or a sophomore compared to guys like Chad or Arcedo?
When they've been in the system that long, you know exactly where they're at. You can anticipate breaks, you can make things happen. And with younger guys, we're starting to gain that confidence with it as the year goes on, and I think that's important. Timing and understanding proper depths, make sure you read kids' body language when they're coming in and out of cuts and stuff like that.
Dan talked about Monday that the line between, or I guess the margin between Dak and Tyler coming into the season was basically even.
Mm-hmm.
Where was it at the beginning of fall camp? the difference between the two quarterbacks?
Well, again, I think Dak's really improved in his throwing game, and he'll tell you that when you talk to him, and he's really improved a bunch in it, and so it's been very helpful for us. And, his acceleration is, pushed Tyler really hard, too. And, Tyler got banged up, too. I mean, he got banged up, so it was really tough on him.
Is there anything different that Dan talked about the physicality of playing Alabama? Is there anything noticeable in practice if we were out there that we would see just for an Alabama week compared to maybe an A&M week?
Well, it's the SEC. It's week in.
But A&M is so different than Alabama. It's the same league.
No, I'm with you, but still, it's still the SEC. You look at and I don't say this in a bad manner. The 5 losses we've had have been the top 20 teams. One of them was 21. You know what I'm saying? So we're facing some really good football teams. And Alabama right now is the best of all of them. So I would say they're going to be pretty physical. When you watch their brand of ball.
We talked a little last week about Blaine Clausell and a good job he did, but the line and hole, and with the quarterbacks getting it out quicker or things like that, the sacks are down. Seems like the offensive line's a little more fluid now to some guys growing up.
Obviously, it helps when they grow up. It really does. We've graduated some people in that position, and they've stepped up. And, we've had some people banged up in that position. So we've had to play with different players in that position, but that's part of it.